Have you ever realized that the harder you chase something, the more it seems to slip right through your fingers? It's one of life's most fascinating truths, a paradox that feels both frustrating and enlightening. Strangely enough, when you stop obsessing over the outcome, things often start falling into place effortlessly. This idea isn't new. Buddhist philosophies have long taught that clinging to results can actually block your path to success. When you let go of rigid expectations and surrender to the present moment, you unlock possibilities that are far greater than anything you could have imagined. Think about this age-old wisdom. The one who holds on too tightly loses what they seek, while the one who opens their hands receives more than they ever asked for. It's a profound lesson, and it forms the foundation of this story, a tale about transformation, surrender, and the remarkable power of letting go. Long ago, nestled in a peaceful forest surrounded by majestic cliffs, there lived a young monk with an unwavering desire to achieve enlightenment. He was disciplined, determined, and completely consumed by the need to master his meditation practice. Every single day, he would sit for hours, striving to silence his mind and uncover the deeper truths of existence. But no matter how hard he tried, true peace seemed just out of reach. One day, while sitting near a waterfall, he was struck by something unexpected. As he watched the water cascade effortlessly over the rocks, he couldn't help but notice its flow, steady, natural, and unburdened by effort. The water didn't strain or struggle to reach the river below. It simply surrendered to gravity and allowed its journey to unfold naturally. The young monk, mesmerized by this effortless flow, had a revelation. Nature moves without resistance, without attachment. Yet knowing this wasn't enough for him, he craved results. Frustration took hold, and he threw himself into his meditation with even greater intensity. He forced his mind to focus, tried to slow his breathing, and pushed himself to banish every stray thought. But the harder he tried, the more restless and agitated he became. That evening, his master approached him with a calm yet knowing smile. "Your mind is like a clenched fist," the master said. "The tighter you squeeze it, the more energy you waste and the less you achieve. Would you like to hear a story about the art of letting go?" The young monk nodded eagerly, hoping for a breakthrough. The master began. Once, there was a farmer whose land was plagued by drought. Day after day, he prayed desperately for rain, dug trenches in the dry earth, and cursed his misfortune. But no matter what he did, his fields remained barren, his crops withered, and despair consumed him. One day, a wise wanderer passed through the farmer's land. Observing the situation, the wanderer said, "Stop chasing the rain. Focus on the soil, nurture the seeds, and let the sky take care of the rest." Though skeptical at first, the farmer decided to follow this advice. Instead of obsessing over the weather, he poured his energy into enriching the earth beneath him. And then, when he least expected it, the rains came. His fields flourished, and he harvested a bounty unlike any he'd ever known. Overwhelmed by gratitude, the farmer asked the wanderer, "Why did this happen?" The sage replied, "When you stop grasping at the sky, you create space for miracles to find you." The master paused, looking deep into the young monk's eyes. "Stop chasing peace like that farmer chased rain," he said gently. "Tend to your practice with devotion, but without expecting anything in return. The results will come, not through force, but through trust and surrender." Inspired by the story, the young monk resolved to embrace the idea of non-attachment. But he quickly realized that letting go was far more challenging than it sounded. As he meditated, doubts crept into his mind. Am I doing this right? When will I find peace? Day after day, he wrestled with his expectations. He questioned the master's teachings, growing restless with his lack of progress. Yet, deep down, he knew that true transformation demanded patience and faith. One afternoon, as he walked through the forest, he noticed a butterfly struggling to break free from its cocoon. Moved by its plight, he reached out to help, but the master gently stopped him. "If you interfere," the master explained, "the butterfly will never gain the strength it needs to fly." Its struggle is what prepares it for freedom. Let it be. It is through struggle that transformation happens. The monk stood back, reflecting on the master's words. In that moment, he saw his own journey mirrored in the butterfly's struggle. Enlightenment wasn't something he could force. It was a process that required time, patience, and trust. He needed to allow it to unfold naturally. Determined to change his approach, the monk gradually began releasing his fixation on results. He no longer meditated to find peace. He meditated simply to be present. He stopped striving for perfection and allowed himself to be imperfect. At first, nothing seemed to change, but over time he noticed subtle shifts. His breath grew deeper, his thoughts quieter, and his heart lighter. He no longer measured his progress or sought approval. Instead, he sat still, just as the waterfall he once admired flowed without effort. One day, as he meditated, a profound stillness settled over him. It felt as though the entire forest had merged with his being. The boundaries between himself and the world dissolved, and an astonishing realization emerged. Peace was never something to be chased or achieved. It had always been within him, waiting to be uncovered. When the monk shared his experience with the master, the elder smiled knowingly. "What you have found," the master said, "is the fruit of non-attachment. When you stopped chasing results, you created the space for peace to reveal itself. Remember, the journey is far more important than the destination. When you surrender to the process, you align yourself with life's natural flow." The young monk, still curious, asked his master, "Why does caring block the results?" The master smiled and replied, "Caring isn't the issue, clinging is. When you attach yourself to a specific outcome, you create tension and resistance. Think of trying to hold water in your hands. If you grip it tightly, it slips away. But if you cup your hands gently, it stays. Life flows the same way. Trust the process, and it will unfold in its own time." To make his point clearer, the master shared another story. There was once a young archer determined to perfect his aim. He practiced relentlessly day and night, focusing all his energy on hitting the bullseye. Yet no matter how hard he tried, his arrows often missed their mark. One day, an old, seasoned archer observed him. The elder said, "Your problem is that you're trying too hard. Relax your grip, steady your breath, and let the arrow fly without fear." The young archer scoffed at first, but decided to give it a try. To his amazement, his aim improved dramatically. He realized the secret wasn't in trying harder, but in trusting his skills and releasing his attachment to the outcome. The master concluded, "Tension clouds clarity, but surrender sharpens focus." Integration and transformation. The young monk took these lessons deeply to heart. He began applying the principle of non-attachment, not just to his meditation, but to every aspect of his life. When he worked in the temple garden, he focused on the joy of planting each seed rather than fixating on the hope of blooming flowers. When he taught younger monks, he found fulfillment in the act of teaching itself, without worrying about their successes or failures. Over time, the monk discovered that letting go didn't mean giving up. It meant fully engaging in the present moment without clinging to results. This subtle shift brought him a profound sense of freedom and fulfillment that he had never known before. Word of the monk's transformation quickly spread throughout the temple. Many came to seek his guidance, curious about the source of his newfound peace. To them, he would often share this wisdom. The harder you chase results, the more elusive they become. Trust the journey, and the destination will take care of itself. Focus instead on the present moment, and trust that life will unfold exactly as it should. Like the farmer who stopped chasing the rain, tend to your inner soil, and the harvest will come in its own time. The monk's journey of surrender taught lessons that reached far beyond his own transformation. As he shared his newfound wisdom with others, he witnessed profound changes in those who embraced the practice of letting go. Their lives began to flow with a new ease, filled with unexpected successes and moments of genuine joy. One day, a younger monk approached him with a thoughtful question. "If letting go brings results," the young monk asked, Does that mean we should stop setting goals or striving for anything at all? The elder monk smiled knowingly. Not at all, he replied. Goals are like the stars in the night sky. They give you direction, but they are not destinations to reach. What truly matters is the journey itself and how you choose to walk your path. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means loosening your grip on the outcome and embracing the present moment with trust and clarity. To explain further, the elder monk shared a powerful metaphor. Life is like a dance, he said. If you focus only on the final step, you miss the beauty of the movement. A dancer doesn't aim to finish the dance as quickly as possible. Instead, they immerse themselves in each step, trusting the rhythm to guide them. He paused, letting the words sink in. In the same way, when you stop obsessing over results, you can truly experience the joy of the process. And in doing so, you often find that the results come naturally, like music effortlessly finding its harmony. The younger monk nodded, deeply moved by the simplicity and beauty of the metaphor. Challenges in letting go. Letting go may sound simple, but in practice, it can be one of life's greatest challenges. Many who sought the elder monk's guidance shared the same struggle. How can I let go of something that matters so deeply to me? They would ask. If I stop caring, won't I fail to achieve it? The elder monk would reply with patience. Letting go does not mean indifference. It means releasing attachment. Caring deeply about something is natural and beautiful, but when your care turns into obsession or fear of failure, it becomes a chain that binds you. Trust in your efforts and in life's timing. Release the need to control everything. He would often remind them of an old saying, you cannot calm turbulent waters by slapping at them. You must let them settle on their own. The bowl of water test. One day, the elder monk devised a test to help his students understand the essence of letting go. He filled a shallow bowl with water and placed a single flower petal on the surface. Then he challenged his students. Retrieve the petal, he said, but do so without spilling a single drop of water. The first student, eager to succeed, used force. He plunged his hand into the bowl, but the water splashed over the edges, and the petals sank. The second student approached more cautiously. Using his fingertips, he tried to gently guide the petal to the edge, but his trembling hand created ripples, and once again, the petals sank. Finally, the elder monk took the bowl himself. With a calm demeanor, he tilted it ever so slightly. The water naturally flowed to one side, and the petal drifted effortlessly to the edge, where he picked it up without a single drop spilling. This, he said, holding up the delicate flower petal, is the art of letting go. Do not force. Do not tremble with fear. Instead, trust the flow and let life unfold. When you align with its rhythm, you'll find that what you seek will come to you without struggle. When you try to force a situation, you disrupt its natural balance. But when you act with patience and harmony, the results often come to you effortlessly. Life's subtle irony. As the years passed, the elder monk observed a fascinating truth. Those who embraced non-attachment often achieved far more than those who clung desperately to their goals. Their freedom from obsession allowed them to approach challenges with clarity, creativity, and ease. One of the most remarkable examples was a potter who had once struggled endlessly to craft a perfect vase. The harder he tried, the more flaws he found in his work. Frustrated, he sought the elder monk's guidance. After adopting the practice of letting go, the potter began working with a sense of playfulness and ease. To his astonishment, his creations became more refined, and soon he was celebrated for the unmatched beauty of his art. When asked about his success, the potter said, I stopped trying to make a perfect vase. Instead, I focused on enjoying the process of shaping the clay. And in that joy, perfection found me. Trust the universe. One evening, as the elder monk gazed at the starlit sky with his students, he shared one of his most profound insights. The universe has its own rhythm, he said. It is a rhythm far greater than anything our limited understanding can grasp. When you release your attachment to specific outcomes, you align yourself with that rhythm. Results come not through force, but through harmony with life's flow. A student, puzzled by the idea, asked, "But what if the results we want never come?" The monk smiled gently and replied, "Perhaps the results you seek are not what you truly need. Life often provides not what we want, but what we need for our growth and happiness. Trust the universe. It has a wisdom far beyond our comprehension." The power of patience. Patience, the elder monk often said, is the cornerstone of letting go. He would compare it to planting a tree. When you plant a seed, he explained, you do not stand over it demanding that it grow. Instead, you water it, give it sunlight, and trust the earth to do its work. Growth happens in its own time, not on your schedule. This lesson reminded his students that surrendering to the natural pace of life doesn't mean passivity. It means nurturing the present moment while trusting the future to unfold as it should. In time, the tree grows strong and tall, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it the space to thrive. This analogy brought comfort to many of the monk's students, helping them see that their efforts were never wasted, even when results seemed delayed. As the elder monk neared the end of his life, he reflected on the profound transformation he had experienced. He realized that the principle of letting go wasn't just about achieving results. It was about living with grace, freedom, and joy. Gathering his students for one final teaching, he shared his ultimate wisdom. Life is like a river, he said. When you swim against the current, you exhaust yourself and go nowhere. But when you surrender to the flow, you are carried effortlessly to your destination. Trust the river, trust life, and most importantly, trust yourself. Let go, and you'll discover that everything you've been searching for is already within you. His students held these words close to their hearts, passing them down through generations. Each found their own meaning in the timeless truth. When you stop clinging, results often come naturally. Thus, the elder monk's legacy became a guiding light for all who sought peace in a world so often consumed by striving. It reminded them that the key to fulfillment lies not in grasping, but in releasing, not in striving, but in surrendering. Thank you for watching. I hope you found inspiration in this story. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to subscribe to my channel by clicking the button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. What lessons from this story resonated with you most? I'd also love to hear what topics you'd like to see next. See you in the next video.